fantastic. This is, this is great. Let's have a Windows update and, all that fun stuff. So, good morning, chat room. Hello. Hello. Howdy. Hi. Anybody there? Is anybody out there? Nisi is. Good morning, Nisi.
Hi there.
How you doing, Nisi? Rod's here. Hi. Hi, guys. Alright. I think we're good. Okay. How's the levels? Do we sound okay? Let me adjust that to there. You sound okay? Good to see you. Well, I can't see you, Rod, but it's nice you're here. And good morning, early. I'm assuming, is it midnight or 1 a.m. I think, for him. I think they're okay. Alright, let me test this one, most important.
Coffee is my blood.
How's that level? Only on 3rd cup today, so far. I did make it slightly stronger today, so yes, we need it. There's much to be done after I do the podcast. Okay, I think we've got everything. I think network problem. No? Network problem? Is there a problem? Is it being silly? Australian internet? Is it being fantastic? Are we being slow? It's probably being slow. Mind you, everything shows that I'm in green, so I don't know. I don't get the I can be talking to you fine and the latency looks like it's going crazy, so I don't know. It's all a bit strange. Both the Discord and Twitch both say everything's okay, so hopefully that's okay. Alright. Yes, it's okay. Excellent. Alright. I was gonna bring something over here. Now I've forgotten what it is. Anyway, doesn't matter. It's all good. Alright. I've got that. I think we've got all the bits. And how's the chat room doing? Are we all good today? Everybody's having a good day or night or morning or evening? I hope so. Hope everyone's having a good one. Did my settings reset? I don't know what goes on with these settings. Alright. I think it's time. Are we ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Alright. Okay. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Whatever it is you enjoy about the World of Warcraft, we have a challenge for you.
Adventure.
Crafting.
Murder.
Flowers.
This is the WoW Challenges podcast. And here's your host, Leeta.
Hello and welcome to the WoW Challenges podcast. This is episode 259. Today is Saturday, April 17, 2021. I'm your host, Leeta. Joining me this week as my co-host is Ferre. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Thank you. Oh, good evening to you. Good afternoon, actually.
Afternoon, yes.
Yes, afternoon for you.
Yep.
How you doing?
4 p.m.
4.
I'm
okay.
doing good.
You're doing good? Well, thank you. Thank you for coming and saying hi with us and the chat room again. I do appreciate it. So,
Of course.
and it's good to catch up. It's good to catch up. I mean, it does seem like I don't talk to you often. I know it is, but sometimes it's like, oh, it's fair. It's good. I feel like that with all of you guys that come help. It's like, oh, it's so good to catch up again. So thank you for helping me this week. What I thought we'd have a chat about this week would be about tips that we use on a challenge stream, because we haven't done that in a little while, and we've had the expansion come out, and sometimes those things change the way that the way we've known to be playing over the last couple of years with BFA and previous, from Legion and all of that kind of stuff. And then we get to the new expansion, and sometimes, because there's been so many massive changes for us, some of those tips that we have developed over years, all of a sudden we have to change them. So it's good to have a little bit of a refresher. So that's what we're going to talk about today. But I didn't say good morning to the chat room. Hi guys, everyone's in the chat room. Let's say good morning, Ferre. Let's see, who have we got? Chris is there. Good morning, sweetie. Nisi, Stir's there. Rud's there. Matters, I think Matters there lurking. Hi Matter. Thank you everyone for popping in and saying hi.
Everyone.
Yeah, welcome. All right, so let me have a swig of coffee, because as we all know,
Coffee is my blood.
more at the moment, more so than anything else. I am living on coffee. It's great. So what I want to start off for you, tips playing a challenge tune. What do you go with? I mean, everyone. Let me start. My top tip, my top rule number one, leaders rule number one. And if you don't know this, then something's wrong. Or you knew, but everyone knows, leaders rule number one is you do not play when you're tired. I've lost 3 tunes when I'm tired, because I broke my rule and I was very, very naughty. So that's my top rule. My top tip is, no playing sleepy. Yes, Chris, no playing sleepy, no playing when you're tired, because I have been known to just conk out and drown. I think I drowned one, ran into something, I can't remember the third one. No running around in circles. Yes, I think I didn't lose that tune though. My hand got stuck on the button as I fell asleep. I think that's the one stone.
That was classic, yes.
Yeah, that was. I think that was for a contest. I think that was the start of a contest. I didn't kill that tune off then. I just was running around in circles, and thankfully, the mobs that were there were all yellow. So,
Lucky.
Yeah. So, okay, fair. Hit me with it. What tips have you got to share with everyone?
I have to agree. That is a big one.
Mm-hmm.
Keep a monitor on your tiredness levels. I haven't actually run into any mobs by falling asleep, but I fall asleep on flight paths.
Yep.
So I make sure that the flight paths I'm going to land in safe places. Because, I get drifty. I play in the middle of the night on Pacifist because less people around for prox kills. It can get a little sleepy. So, keep an eye on that.
Yes.
The other thing I have to keep an eye on is my latency. This has changed, and it's constant in every expansion. You never know when you're going to get it. I had some DCs yesterday.
Oh,
for
okay.
high latency, just spiked.
Yeah.
I was in a safe place, but if something seems weird on your screen, check your latency.
Yeah.
I had all the NPCs disappear yesterday in Grizzly Hills. I
Oh,
mean, it's like,
okay.
where did the flight master go? I thought maybe the horde had killed him or something.
Yeah.
But no, nobody was there. So, okay, there's a
Wow.
problem here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Okay. All right. I
So
think
yeah, that's a big cause of death,
yes.
for me.
Yes. Exact. And you know what? As we know, and we have seen it time and time again over the years that people pop up in Discord, on Twitter, and it'd just be like, I just DC'd and lost my turn. Like, it happens. We know that it does happen, and it's a horrible feeling. I think I've only ever lost one turn to a DC. That was a long time ago, but it's never a nice.
Yeah, I've lost
nice
a
thing.
few.
Yeah. Yes.
When I go back in after I get DC'd, I make sure I have my mouse hand hovering over whatever rescue button I would use, if it's
Yeah.
instant flight form for Druid or my glider
Mm-hmm.
button, because I might need to hit it.
Yeah. As he
It seems to always happen when I'm flying.
Yeah. As he said, try 15 in 1 year. So as he lost 15 to DCs.
That's a record, yeah,
that
for
was,
sure.
I think that was
Not a good record.
2018, 19, as he. That's when that was the bad. I mean, Australian internet is fantastic. Yeah. So anyway, sorry about all those. Azzy, that's 15. That's rough. 2019. Okay, it was 2 years ago. Yeah. Alrighty. Fair. What else? What other tips have we got to tell everyone?
Probably the general category would be to maintain your situational awareness, know where you are and what the other creatures do in that area. It's easier to do when you're in an area you've played before a lot and you know the patrols, you know the pathing patterns. If it's a new area, take a moment and watch before you jump in and kill things.
Yep.
Or maybe scout it out if you need to.
Mm-hmm.
Just specific, I stay out of caves. I don't
Yep.
care how situationally aware I am in a cave. It's not a good place.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, there's no need to go there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Caves, mines, all that stuff. There are so many places to quest between 1 and 50 that you don't need to go into those deep, dark, creepy type places.
Yeah.
Just don't do it.
Mm-hmm. No, that's true. And again, we have seen over the years some, it can be tight, and respawns can be quick, and you can get yourself stuck in a corner, and all of a sudden, you've got mobs around you, your hearth might not be up, like all sorts of things. So it's...
Yeah, and if you go in and it's empty and you didn't be the one to empty it out, don't do it, because they're coming back.
Yeah.
Somebody just cleared the place.
Yes. No, that's a really good one. And I think, like you said, the way that Shadowlands is now, we can be so picky choosy with what quests that we've got to do. So if you've got a little bit of doubt about a quest or about an area, then leave it. Because there is so many other
Just
places
go somewhere else, yeah.
you can go to. Exactly. All right. What else have we got?
This kind of became newly important, I guess, with Shadowlands, but it was also true in other zones. Don't click on random items. Just because it sparkles doesn't mean you should click on it.
Mm-hmm.
It might be a chest and innocuous and good, but it also might be something that gives you a buff. Those little guys in Bastion who runs around with trays of drink and give you potions and stuff. Yeah, you don't want to go clicking on things. Other random items might explode or spawn something, or I just don't click on shinies, unfortunately. As tempting as it is.
Yes. No, That's exactly right. Stir says, don't click on Vanessa Van Cleef. Stir.
Also, speaking
Oh,
from experience, I'm sure. So,
jeez. Execute says even standing in the water in Bastion gets you a buff. Exactly. The longer you stand in it, it gives you up to 5 stacks of the buff. So
oh yeah, I found that out fishing. That was so weird.
yes, yes. I mean, it's nice to have on a normal tune, not on a challenge tune. So yeah, that's definitely one to go for. Nisi says show title deep, dark, and creepy, and says missing mobs should always be cause for slamming in the brakes and time for updating your awareness. Did someone come through and clear the area out? Yep. Are you about to land in the middle of respawns? Are you about to DC due to latency? Exactly, which is what we were saying. Yeah. Execute says, come to Bastion, we have buff water. That's, well,
right,
that's
exactly.
true. That's true.
Bathe in buff water.
Yes. Yes, exactly that. All right. So I think, again, these are tips that, we all as challenge players use to a degree. So I think most of us would be using these ones. So what else do we have?
Well, it kind of was referred to, but when in doubt, scout it out.
Mm-hmm.
Be sure, and definitely
Yeah.
in Shadowlands, you see a world quest, you go, oh, that's shiny, let's try it. Let's try it on the scout first, please.
Mm-hmm. And you've been a huge advocate, as many of our, veterans do go scouting. It's saved you, I'm gonna say, countless times, things that
Many
you found
times,
out.
yes. Yep.
Yeah. So if you don't know an area, if you're not sure, then take something. Like find a tune that's similar level so you can go and test it, or similar class if you don't have the same thing, because obviously taking a warrior versus taking a hunter is different, because you've got melee versus ranged. But if that's all you've got, well, take it over and see how things do look, to give you at least a fair idea of that area, the quest line,
Yeah,
what's
for
going
sure.
to happen. Mind you, I think now, was it I'm just trying to think, was it Zaya or Stir that did scout something out, seemed okay, or was it you, then went on the normal tune and something happened that was different to when they scouted it?
I don't think that was me.
No, might have been, maybe that was Zaya. Something that
It's certainly possible. Yeah.
That was Stir. Okay, all right. I know that there was went and scouted, everything went fine, and then they went over RNG to the mob, right? Yeah. And again, if a mob's got RNG, we can't control that. If we could, we'd all get those mounts first roll. But anyway,
Yeah, right.
yeah, yeah, all the pets, all those pretty shinies that we've been trying for 10 plus years to get. Anyway, let it go, Leeta, let it go. So yeah, so scouting is a huge help. It might take you 30 minutes to do it, an hour to do it, whatever. If it keeps your challenge tune safe by being able to do that, then why not? Why not do it? So yeah. All right. Oh, as he says, yeah, scouting doesn't help with stupid, and that's true. That is true. There's no help when people do stupid things.
And you can't control the other people around you either.
Yeah. Stir says, over the years I've learned to let Azzy and Zaya be my scouts. you know, this is why we share information. It's good to have so many people playing and finding all those little tricky things. So yeah, we do appreciate it.
Yeah,
Okay.
and we let Sir be our authority when it comes to Vanessa. So he,
Yeah,
he could try out those things with
I
her.
I was
Click
gonna
on
say,
Vanessa.
I think he, you know, he would have volunteered for, you know, like pick me. No, it's like I'll do it.
Yeah, really.
Yes. All right. What else have we got?
Kind of, we touched on something like this with RNG in a fight or whatever. But if a fight isn't going very well, um, you got a bad feeling about it, you get ads, maybe the boss shows up with an ability you weren't expecting, um, but in general, you're not feeling good about it, bail when you can.
Yeah.
If you have any ability to break combat, use it before it's too late. I mean, don't sit there and tell yourself it'll be okay. I've got this. I've got this. Well, you might or you might not have this. Yeah, I think we've all done that.
I was gonna say, I think 99.9% of certainly my early deaths was that old adage of trying to shake. You're on a normal tune. You're not with a challenge tune, so you can't just be like, oh well, I'll stand here and fight, and if I die, you know, I can res and try it again. On a challenge tune, there is no second chance. So, you know, if you've got to run away, get yourself out of combat, even if it's just to come back so you can approach it, you know, approach the fight or approach the mob in a different, you know, because you might have come, you know, you might have come straight in to the mob, and that's not the way to do it. Maybe you needed to come, you know, from a different angle or whichever. So sometimes it's better just to abort, have a look at the situation again, and then if you deem, okay, let's try it again, off you go. But yeah, if you find that they're hitting hard, I can think prime example of the time when I didn't scout it was my hunter, my bloodthirsty hunter back, was it last year? I was over in Northrend in Storm Peaks, and I haven't seen this rare had popped up. It's the mechanical gnome in Storm Peaks near where the rhinos are and the blue drake, you know, the blue drakes flying around. Ducky, thank you. And I was like, yep, I looked at the health and I thought, no, I've got the hunter, I've got my pet, you know, I've got this. And it was one of those things that I sent the pet in, he two-shot the pet, and by the time I was not expecting that, then he came for me and one-shot me. And it happened so fast that I just sat there going, huh, right, I should have scouted that one, right, I wasn't expecting, and it was like,
yeah, sad.
So yeah, and yet I've, you know, over the years I've killed that on Leeta and not had a problem, and of course, Leeta being a normal tune, of course not, but on the blood, it just was nasty. So yeah, definitely have to know, you know your fights, know to get out if you can. I didn't even have time to feign. Like, it just happened that quick.
Yeah.
It's like, ah. And yes, sometimes the rares aren't worth it, especially when you start getting higher. Definitely for bloodthirsties. Yes, I learnt that the very hard way. Mind you, there is a couple over in Northrend that is still good, but even now, it's a little bit like, depends on what class I'm on as to if it'd be okay. Yeah, Stir says, if your spidery senses tingle, pay attention to them. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for
Very
sure.
true. If your gut's saying, maybe I shouldn't try this? Yeah.
And then maybe you shouldn't try this, right?
Yeah, that's again, that's also me. If I think, should I? No, I'll try it. Dead. That is normally what happens. And then I sit there and then I'm probably more cranky with myself because I should have listened to my gut and I didn't. All right. So that's about the fight. So, you know, if you need to abort it, run. 9 times out of 10 mobs do leash. We have found a couple that don't. So, you know, it's one of those things. If you just try and get out of combat as best you can. All right, what else?
If you need to bubble hearth, do it.
Yeah, if like pull out whatever trick that you need to get out of combat within the rules, obviously. But you know, if you need to go, then you know, get yourself out of the situation. And I think also another good thing, I'm not sure if we mentioned, I know over the time we've had quite a few people, especially with the veterans, saying, you know, when you're going into an area, have a way to get in and make sure you've got a way to get out. That if things turn to the oh shit moment where you're like, have a backup plan that you can escape as best you can too. So it's always handy. So
And that becomes important once you get the ability to fly. You can fly in right to where you want to kill something and skip over all the trash in between the road and that guy.
Yes.
That doesn't help you when you need to get out. All the trash mobs are still there.
That's right.
And you need to escape.
Because as soon as you're in combat,
keep it in mind.
you can't mount. So if you've pulled combat because something's respawned and you're like, everything's respawning, I can't get on my mount, I've got no feign death, I've got no anything, it's, yeah, it can be quite gruesome to see. So yeah, escape plan is a must. Absolutely. Mount in combat, can't mount. I know. It's one of, and the same, hopping on a flight path. I don't think I don't know why they changed it. It really irks me because you used to be able to. Remember? A long time ago. You used to be able to run, click on the flight path and take off. Now you can't do it. So you...
Oh, I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, so you can't even, you know, like escape to a town, still be in combat if something doesn't leash, and you go to click the flight path and he's like, no, you're in combat. No, you're in combat. No, you're in combat. And you're like, eh. So, yeah, it's...
That's annoying.
It is. I don't know why they changed that, because it was, you know, one of the things, not that I've used it a lot. Well, I think I mostly used it back in the days when I was on PvP server. So sometimes it was a matter of just run, get to the flight path, and get the hell out of whatever town, you know, Alliance was attacking that you happened to land into and be dead. And then I was like, oh. So yeah. It's one of those. Okay, so what have I got? Nisi says, I try to kill stuff on the outer edges so I don't end up surrounded by mobs if I can help it. Yep, that's a good idea.
Yeah, good idea.
Stir says, if real life calls, always park tune, hearth in and in, log. How many times have we returned and your tune is chatting it up with Zort's girlfriend, the spirit healer? Yeah. It's... You know, it's one of those big things. Even if I can't get back to an inn, I know I will try and find some, you know, some spot that I can see that's relatively is safe, that's away from mobs, and just log out. However, I have had it once where I logged, and as it was doing, that 20-second countdown, I've walked away from the computer, done what I needed to get done for the family or whatever it was, come back, and I'm not logged out. My toon is dead. This was not a challenge toon. This was a normal toon. But still, my toon was dead, and I'm sitting there going, hang on, what happened? I logged out. And then I'm like, no, you didn't, because the toons hit me, and it's like, it didn't go. Like, I didn't log out. I thought I had logged out. I walked away. Something's padded right in my way, and I ended up dead. So,
Ouch.
So thankfully it wasn't a challenge soon, but it was like, now I wait for that, 20, that countdown to make sure, right, loading screen's there, walk away from the computer, make sure that we're okay. Chris says, avoid the inn in Maldraxxus. Yes. If you're in Shadowlands, definitely Maldraxxus has got a lot of AoE stuff from the zone or from the arena-y thing. Not a good place to leave yourself parked. Like, log out. Absolutely. Okay. Alright. Thank you, chat room, too. All the great tips that we're getting. It's good to go over them, because, I mean, we all have so many, which is great. Okay. Ferre, what else have you got for me?
Well, not all quests or zones or named or rare mobs are for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like fighting casters or ranged attackers on my druids because rooting is ineffective against a caster.
Yes.
On the other hand, but my rogue doesn't care. He'll go kick him. Not a problem.
True.
Shut up, caster. Right? So just be mindful of what toon you're on, what skills you have, and skip those mobs if you can. If there's mobs that are a pack of mobs and some are casters and some are melee, pick the ones you want if you can.
Yeah.
Avoid the ones you don't. Stay around the edges, as Nisi says, and pick them off.
Yeah.
Wait for them to respawn. But yeah, there's really no need to pick a zone that's really unfriendly to your class. Just go somewhere else.
True. Yeah. Very true. And I think the other thing is, no, the thought, it was there, it's gone. Just like that. What was I gonna say? Something to the effect of that, there are so many mobs around. And again, just because, if you got the ability, like, say, as a rogue, say you come up against two mobs, one's a caster, one's a melee, you can always, sap and kill, and take the chance that, making sure that you don't aggro the one that you've sapped, or all of that kind of stuff. Or just find a place that has got, mobs that are, and there's lots around, that have got decent enough if you're doing, especially if you're doing bloodthirsty, or even as an iron, if you need to find an area that will just give you, like some fairly, not simple quests, but, something that's where the mobs are a little bit more sparsely, is always a good thing to do. Yeah, Nisi says, I'll wait the 6 minutes for a mob to respawn if it's in a safer spot for me to kill. Sometimes, that's what I was going to say. I knew it would come back to me. The name of the game is Patience, really, for a challenge soon. Don't you think? Like, there's a lot.
Yeah, for sure, it is.
As much as we can all, you can rush and go through and just take your chance on. For a lot of us, part of that is, I guess, is this mental part of being able to look at, right, is this the right way? Which is, is this path going to be a better one for me, for my toon? Because when we lose a toon, we know how devastating, upsetting it can be. So sometimes it's just a matter of using, that the old adage of patience is a virtue, and that can save us at times.
Yeah, I mean, that 6 minutes that you wait is a lot less time than re-rolling your toon and leveling up again.
Yeah, very true. Rid says put a marker on a mob, even in a house you can see through the walls and see the mob. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Large nameplates. I have them on every single character I possibly can, so I can clearly see where things are. But and it's good. Markers are great for if you're not sure where things pat. And sometimes it's just a matter of sitting, watching what's going on, and just watch that little skull or little purple diamond, walking its path to get an idea of what's going on.
I do that with the stealth demons in Desolus. There's a dig site with a bunch of stealth demons pathing around. I can see, if I catch a glimpse of them, I just stick a mark on them.
Yeah.
I wind up with 4 or 5 marker guys running around and just avoid them.
And they're nasty.
Yeah, they're not fun.
Oh, they hit and hurt a lot. So, yes. So, yeah, Ravenhill in particular, Rod mentions, yes. Ravenhill is a definite place to be very wary of. Don't go into the house near the flight paths. Don't go into those. But yeah, so yeah. Now, I think, was there one more archaeology?
Yeah, I obviously can't give a list of tips without giving my archaeology tip of the day.
Yes.
Which I've given before, but
yeah,
maybe there's people new to doing archaeology. Use the terrain to your advantage when you're prospecting. You don't have to land in the middle of a bunch of trolls. You can stand on the wall nearby them and do your prospecting and see which direction you have to go before you go down and jump into those trolls. So use the terrain to your advantage.
Yes.
I think not everybody has always known that, and it's a good thing to remember. I still do it.
One of the best tips I ever heard you give, because I utilize that so much with leveling my first pacifist, and I didn't even think about it up until when you mentioned it, and now I'm always utilizing it, well, especially for the passies, but it just makes life easier when you think, okay, well, the dig spot's here, but wait, there's a little tree, or there's a little statue, or there's something, and there's mobs. Well, I can hop up here and I can still dig and give myself area to be able to see what's going on. So best tip for archaeology ever, I have to say. So yes,
good. I'm glad it helps.
Yes, most definitely. Alrighty, well, that is so thank you, Ferre, for going through your tips, and thank you, chat room, for contributing to things that you use as well. It's good to have a refresher and to go over them. And don't forget, if you've got any new ones or got any that you'd like to share, then certainly send them in to me, and I'll include them in the upcoming shows. It's good to share information. I can't stress that enough, because there might be something that we hear, that we feed off from someone else's advice, someone else's tips that potentially could save you in a tricky situation, or when something, something goes wrong and you think, ha, I remember, Ferre said, Stir said, that kind of thing. It does help. I know, because I do it. So thank you guys for that. Do appreciate that.
Yeah, I think we learn a lot from each other.
Yes, we do. We do, exactly. And it's great that we've got a community that does love to share all their tips and tricks and what's going on. So we've got an amazing community. So hang on, let me do my cute little, this is to all you guys, heart you all, and to Ferre, heart you. I'm doing a little heart thing. So yeah. Alrighty. So that's our tips that we've gone over. So hopefully that will refresh all of the veterans and maybe give some of the new people some ideas of things to look into. Now, how has your week been, Ferre? What have you been doing? I'm looking at the show notes and I can see you haven't been busy. You're always busy. Look at that. What have you been doing? I know what you've been doing, because you may have done a ding just recently. Did I lose you? Have I lost her? Have I lost me? Am I still here? I think I've lost. No, you're here? There.
Did you lose me?
Yes, I lost you. That's okay. You're back. I thought I was having a heart attack. I was waiting for everything of mine because I thought, oh no, Australian internet.
No, I think it's my fault. Yeah,
that's okay.
No, I was just saying that my pacifist had dinged 60.
Yay! Hang on.
Was...
We'll do a little here.
Thank you.
There we go.
Yeah, she's the pacifist that I made after the launch of Shadowlands, specifically after I lost another pacifist during the first week of the launch by a critter kill credit. So I made another one at that point.
Yeah.
But I didn't really play her a whole lot at that point because I had another passy who was a max level rogue in BFA, so I figured I'd push her on to 60. So I did that at the time. And I got back to this one. I did not really want to do non-stop archaeology all day and all night on her right away. So I decided I was only going to play rested with her because that cuts the number of dig sites in half.
Yes.
That you need to do. So I took my time with her and did that and dinged this past week.
Yay!
Her. Yeah. I forgot how much fun it was to have Druid doing archaeology with instant flight. So
Nice.
it's handy dandy. She mostly dug her stuff in Kalimdor, as my usual tendency.
Yeah.
I was surprised. I looked at my playtime, very low for me for a passy or for anyone really. 4 days, 9 hours.
Wow. Wow. Nice. Congrats. That's awesome.
Yeah, I don't normally keep track of that stuff very much. But
Yeah.
I thought I'd check on her.
Yeah.
Just curious because my other ones have many long hours of playtime. Usually I end up chatting and doing all kinds of stuff. I try to avoid doing that on this one. So. We don't know how many chat hours I've logged.